All right, so how are you doing so far? Let me know in the comments. I hope that all of this has been making sense and you're starting to have a breakthrough, okay? So what I want to talk about now, since we've only been building kind of single chords out of triads, right? Both major and minor. I want to talk now about, and I can hear you thinking about it, what about different chords that are in the same key, right? How do you know what key a song is in, or how do you create a key, right? Not just single chords. So let me tell you exactly how to do that now. It's really simple, and I have a really great hack for you, okay? You can always use this. So remember how we learned that formula? We started in the key of E, right? When we started the course, and we learned that tone, tone, half tone. Sorry, my amp is off. Sorry about that. We learned so we started on E1, then we went tone, tone, half tone, 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 half tone, right? So once you know that formula, there's just one more formula that you have to remember, okay? And this is as important as the tone, tone, half tone, 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 half tone formula, okay? You have to know this. And once you do, you're gonna know it forever, right? Same as you know your ABCs or how to count to 10. It's yours and it's incredibly valuable and you can always use it, okay? So we are gonna be taking those notes that we filtered out using the tone, tone, half tone, etc. formula, and all we're gonna need to know is that the one, and here's where the formula comes, the one is always gonna be major. 2, which is the second chord in the chord progression, is always going to be minor. The third is always going to be minor. The fourth is going to be major. The fifth is going to be major. The sixth is going to be minor. And the seventh is going to be diminished. And then you're back at your 1. Okay? So what does that mean for us? It just means that these notes that we've been filtering out the whole time, these intervals, can also now become chords that fit in a key, okay? In our case now, we are trying to access the key of E major. This principle works, remember the 12-story building, in any key. It never changes, right? That formula, those two formulas that I just told you, never change, no matter what key you're in, okay? So now I'm gonna give you the example of accessing all the chords of E major, and then we're going to do the same thing in C major, okay? So in E, E is our 1. And we know major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, okay? So major is our 1. That means E is going to be major. Then that second note that we access is going to be our 2 chord in the key of E, and that's going to be minor. Okay, our 3 chord is going to be minor. Our 4 chord, which is A, is going to be major. 5 chord, major. 6 chord, as I said, minor. 7 chord is going to be diminished, okay? You don't really need to worry about that for now. And then we have our 1 again, okay? So other than the diminished one, all of these are used all the time in all the songs that you love. In pop music, rock music, you know, ballads. This is how people write songs. They take these 6 chords. The diminished chord is used sometimes too, more in jazz, but it's used in popular music sometimes, but pretty rarely. But the rest of the chords, other than the diminished one, are used all the time, okay? And anytime you hear somebody saying, let's play a 1, 6, 4, 5 chord progression, that's what they're talking about. They're saying, all right, let's play our 1, right? The 6 is here, the 4 is here, and the 5 is here. A million songs have been written like that, right? So, la, la, la. I mean, you've heard it a million times. Okay, That's how they're accessing it. So just to recap one more time, once you know that tone, tone, halftone formula, you just have to know that the first note is always going to be major, or the chord that you build from that first note, which is your root of E, is going to be an E major chord. The second note in E is F sharp, and you're going to know, okay, I need to make that F sharp minor. The next one is a G sharp. You're going to say, okay, minor, right? Because you know the formula. Next one, major. Next one, major. Next one, minor. Diminished. With the diminished one, you flatten the 5. You have a flat 5 and a flat third in a diminished chord. But don't worry about that for now. As I said, that's kind of more in the jazzy, direction. And then you're back at your 1. Okay? So this works with any key. You can start on G, you can start on F, you can start on A. It doesn't matter. It's a 12-story building. Every story is identical, just the pitch is changing, okay? So now let's just take a look at this in triads, right? So this is our E major chord. I'm playing the whole chord. But as we've already learned, the root note is repeating itself. The 5 is also repeating itself, okay? So we have the triad is the bass, and then everything else is just repeating itself within the chord, making it sound a little bit bigger and fatter, right? So here's our 1 triad, our E. Our next triad is a whole step up, right? And we know that it has to be minor. So we have our 5, 1, 3. The third has to be flat. Everything stays the same. You could add the root note here again. You could add the root note here again. You could add the 5th again and have a big bar chord if you want to. Or you could just play the triad. It would be enough. Okay, so then we know the next chord or triad has to be, again, a whole step, right? Whole step, half step, right? So we started here. First movement, that's our first whole step. Second whole step has to be minor. Again, this is a minor triad. The next one is a half step. Major triad. Another whole step, major triad. Minor triad, okay? So major, minor, minor, major, major, minor. Again, this is going to be a whole step, except now I have to flatten the 5th too. Since it's a diminished chord, it can sound really nice if you place it in the right place, but now it sounds a little bit weird. Oh, then you're back at your 1. Okay. Again, you could turn these into big fat chords, or you could just play the triads. See how nice that is? We just did that in the key of E, okay? And you're gonna see a chart under this video to download, or I'll put it in the video now, and you're gonna see, if you look at the row where it's the key of E, you're gonna see that the chords in E major are E major, F sharp minor, G sharp minor, A major, B major, and so on, right? Okay, so now we know how to access all of the chords that are within the key as well, right? We used that formula. So that was example 1 using E. Let's just try it now using C, just to see if everything really does stay the same as I've been telling you. Let's see if I'm telling you the truth. So I'm starting on the note C now, okay? And we're gonna go tone, tone, halftone, tone, 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 halftone, all right? And now we know our 1 has to be major, our 2 has to be minor, our 3 has to be minor, our 4 major, 5 major, 6 minor, 7 is diminished, which means I have to have that flat 5 in it, and then we're back at our 1. Okay, so again, I did that tone, tone, halftone, tone, 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 halftone formula, and then I know that my 1 is major, my 2 is minor, my 3 is minor, my 4 is major, my 5 is major, 6 minor, 7 diminished, and then I'm back at my 1, which is of course major still. Okay? Again, you could do this anywhere. You could start on a G. Now G's my 1. So major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. Let's see if I can get it. And then back at your 1. Okay? So once you know this, you can easily, using this formula, access the chords in any key. Okay? You're totally free to do whatever you want with this. Okay? Now that you know it. So play around with this. I hope that this lesson made sense, and let me know if there's any questions. All right, I hope that this helped you out. Again, get this under your fingers. One more thing, let me just show you the triads in C. Okay, so again, we're playing C major, the key of C major. This is my major triad, my first one, right? That's the C triad using the A shape. Right, now I went a whole step up, right? This one has to now be minor, so major, 5, 1, 3. A whole step up, 5, 1. To get minor, we have to flatten the third, right? Another whole step up, flatten the third, major, again, major, minor, diminished. For the diminished, I have to flatten the 5th, and this one. And then we're back at our 1. Okay. So I hope that this made sense. Play with it and just try to get the concept into your brain a little bit. Okay? All right. See you at the next lesson. See you there.